Hi, I'm Natalie. As most of you know, I work at St Richard's Hospital in Chichester as a general doctor there on the wards. Craig's just asked me to give a brief update about what's happening in the hospitals and give you some prayer points for when you're praying for us. So just to update you where we're at, so it's about week 6 of COVID now, so we've had quite a lot of time to prepare. There was quite a lot of anxiety around the few weeks before the outbreak really started, and everyone was very anxious, but now we've sort of settled into it a little bit now. Everyone knows what's going on. What we found is that we've had a steady trickle of patients with COVID-19 coming into the hospital. Some of them unfortunately do get quite sick, and we have had to obviously send quite a lot of them to intensive care. Because we've cancelled all of the clinics and all of the surgery, we've made lots of capacity in the hospital. So actually we have managed to keep the hospital within the capacity of sort of the normal ward setup and ITU setup. But there is more capacity if we need it, but we just found so far we've not needed it with the lockdown and cancelling all the other sort of stuff that's going on normally in hospitals. So the first prayer point really is just about the future. So there's a lot of uncertainty about what's going to happen in the future, but at some point we will need to get back to doing operations for people and opening up the clinics, and we need to sort of start seeing the patients that we would normally see again. So it'd be really good if you could just pray for wisdom for the decision makers to know when and what to start up again, and how we can start to reach the patients that are missing out at the moment, who we're not seeing come into hospital. Also, a lot of doctors have commented and a lot of nurses have commented that there's quite less numbers coming through the door actually in the hospital of the patients we would normally see without COVID. And we're all a little bit worried about where these patients are. Are they really sick at home? And we are seeing quite a lot of people come in quite late, and they're actually quite poorly at that time. So it'll be second prayer point is to pray for patients that are at home, to give them the confidence to come into hospital when they need to come in before they get too sick, because we just don't want to see the collateral damage that COVID might cause for patients that are too scared to come to hospital or have missed out on lots of appointments, and so may not have got the treatment they would normally get. So the next prayer point, something I've found quite most challenging in this time is the fact that we're not allowed visitors. Patients aren't allowed visitors in, so we've had very sick patients that are on their own basically, and it's just quite sad to see people not being able to connect with their relatives at the time when they're needed most, and that is quite tough. Obviously we're trying to get relatives. We do let relatives come in if people are in the last stages of life, but we can't always predict that, and still when you're very, very sick, when you're in intensive care, or just feeling really poorly and you want to see your family and your friends and you can't, that's really tough. So please pray for patients and families in those situations. That really is one of the most toughest things that we see. The other last prayer point would be really good just to pray for the care homes. I haven't been into the care homes, but I know some of my colleagues, as they're a bit quieter from clinics and things being cancelled, that they've gone into care homes, and it really is quite tough there, and they're very isolated, the staff there, and they are seeing care homes that have got outbreaks. They are seeing large numbers of patients pass away in the care home, and that must be really difficult for them. So I really do feel for them. The staff there are putting themselves at more risk than us in the hospital, I feel, and so pray for the staff there and the patients, and obviously the relatives of those patients too. And obviously Christians at hospital, we are finding that people are questioning a little bit more, thinking a bit more deeply about life, and just pray for opportunities for us to share the gospel, to share that hope that we have, and to be a light in that place that sometimes it can feel very sort of, with all the unknowns and the uncertainty and the dark times, it can feel hopeless, but just help us to be the hope and light in those places, and pray that we will do that. Great, thank you very much. Bye.